Hi everyone, welcome to our in-service on using the Activinspire software loaded on our computers. That's a very simple software program will help you flip your classroom in no time. I'm Christy Frame, I'm a math teacher at Gila Ridge, and I'm so happy that you're here with me today. Let's take a look at our objectives. Today, our overall goal, the overarching goal for us is that I would like for you to understand that the tech that you use to flip your classroom is so easy to use. Now, I'm not going to say that Activinspire is the only screencasting program out there, but I haven't found one that's easier to use. So, this is one that I use daily since I started using my Promethean board about 6 years ago. Sadly, I didn't even realize I could screencast until about 3 months ago. If I could have, I really could have been a lot further along by now. Anyway, our objective today is to have you feel positive about trying out the Activinspire software to screencast a lesson and use it in conjunction with YouTube to upload your lesson to the internet so your students can access it from home and prepare for class. Instead of coming to class not knowing what's going to happen in class, they're going to know exactly what they're going to be working on. And it really has made a change in what happens in my classroom, so I wanted to share it with you all. All right, so let's take a quick look at what the flipped classroom looks like. The flipped philosophy. I know it's spelled wrong. Don't worry. It's all right. Let's watch a little video.
I'm Aaron Sams, and I teach science here at Woodland Park High School. My ultimate goal, I guess, as a teacher is to help students become learners who can learn for themselves and by themselves. One of the problems that I was guilty of even prior to flipping my classroom around was the classroom was centered around me. I told them exactly what to learn, how to learn it, what assignments to do to learn it, and when to learn it, and how to prove to me that they learned it. I don't do that anymore. We changed the plates in which content is delivered. Instead of standing in front of a class and delivering, here's how you do this type of problem, here's how this works, I deliver that direct instruction now asynchronously at home through these videos that we make with Camtasia Studio.
Times till whole.
Oh, we didn't do that last time.
The last step, they were already whole numbers. We had 1, 1, and 4. Here we don't have a whole number. So here's a few little tricks when you need to multiply by whole numbers. If one of your numbers ends in 0.5, you're going to multiply by 2.
Right, something 0.5 times it by 2.
Right.
Okay, write this down, guys.
Yes. If something ends in 0.3 or 0.33 or 0.66, you multiply by 3.
And when the kids come to class, they don't show up to learn new stuff. They show up to apply the things that they learn at home and to ask me questions about the things they learned at home. So now they can have my lesson, if you will, what I would normally have stood up and lectured to them in class with some added features. They get that at home, and then what they were expected to do for homework is now what they do in my class. Life is different for me because I no longer am the guy who stands up in the front of the classroom and just yaks at a student for an hour or however long the class is. Now I walk around the class and I help kids. I'm a tutor, I'm a guide, I'm the putter-outer of fires, whatever it happens to be in my crazy chemistry class. I walk around and do that. I don't stand up front and teach under the kind of the traditional model. I'm Aaron Sams. I'm a teacher. I'm a dad. I'm a husband. And I love Camtasia Studio.
I apologize for the sound there. Hopefully I didn't blow you out. All right, let's go back to the video that we were, our presentation. All right, so now that you have a good idea of the flipped philosophy, let's move on and learn how to use the program to learn to screencast and be able to do what Sam did and what I do. So the first thing you're going to do, let me get this out of the way over here, is you're going to go to your Start menu and click that. And you've got a couple options here. You can go and cruise through your programs and find Activinspire. If it's the first time you've used it, you can type it in and hit search, hit enter, and it'll pull it up for you. And this is what it will look like once you launch it. This will be the opening screen. Now, your screen may have different colors than mine. This is just the colors that I have set up. But this is the opening screen. What you'll get is this little box here, and this will always be the choice that's highlighted first. Your flip charts. Those are your lessons that you create. You can create a new flip chart, which is typically what I do. You can open a flip chart that you've been working on, and the most recent ones will be listed. Or if you're going to want to have say you have a PowerPoint of a lesson already ready to go that you would typically use as in conjunction with your lesson, you would click this, and this would allow you to actually access your home page or your screen of your computer and open PowerPoint and run it from there. And on top of that, you can write on top of it and show all kinds of interesting things. So that's a pretty cool feature as well. These other things are a little bit for more advanced users, but this is the screen where you're going to choose what you want to do. Moving on. Now what? Let's learn the basics. This toolbar over here, this guy, he is your friend or she. So let's scroll over the icons and see what each tool will do. This first one up here is your main menu. If we open that up, you'll see that it allows you to choose files, open files, close files, save them, etc. Editing will allow you to work in design mode, or there's a different design mode, and that's a little bit more technical. Typically when you're doing just a run-of-the-mill flip chart, you don't have to worry about this unless you're animating things or something like that. These buttons tell you can undo something that you just did, or you can redo it. And this is a page background. It'll allow you to put cool backgrounds. You'll notice that my background is got this little gradient from purple to pink, and I like that background. I usually use it. And there's a couple of other things, your copy pastes, duplicate, delete. So you can cruise through that and take a look at that. Your view screen here allows you to view what's on your next page, your previous page. It'll allow you to look at a number of things. And the greatest one is your customize button. So let's take a look at that. When you bring in your customize button, you can customize your toolbar over here. The layout of where you want your toolbox to be. If I wanted to move it to the left, I could put it on this side. If I like it on the right, so that's where it is. And so it allows you to do a bunch of things there. And then the commands, or the little things that you want over here in your toolbar, you can just select certain things that you want. Say I want magic ink as part of my toolbar. I can add it and it will put it in my main toolbox. And you can see there's quite a few options that you can put in there. And there are some other things. There's some settings that you can use. So that's a really great button, or a really great option for helping you to set up your toolbar to customize it for the buttons that you use the most often. All right, this button right here is the annotate over the desktop. I'm going to grab my pen tool and I'm just going to show you how really great this is. I can go to my desktop and I can just write all over it whatever I want to do. If you grab my select tool, I can open up a PowerPoint presentation and I can annotate over my PowerPoint presentation. So if I don't want to create a flip chart because I've already got a presentation, I can open it up and I can write on it. I can run the program through it. And as I'm running the PowerPoint, I can be recording what I wanted to say through the lesson while the children are watching or students are watching the PowerPoint. Okay, so I think that's a really cool button. And if you click back onto this, it'll take you back to your flip chart. These buttons are really great. This is the previous page. It'll take you back a page. This one will take you forward a page. So that's that button there. This is a more advanced, these are more advanced tools right here. You'd have to have the little voting clickers that the kids use that come with the Promethean boards. These are your ink colors, your pen colors, so it allows you to change your pen colors. Okay, and this is your pen width, so you can have a really skinny little pen, a really, really fine pen, or you can get up to an extremely fat pen, so that's your pen. This here's your select tool. This is a tool that allows you to take anything you've done and move it wherever you want to move it. It also, if you double click on the item that you want to move, you have all of these tools up here. This is a transparency tool, for example. It'll make things lighter or darker so that you can see through them. Other things, this is an object edit menu, so it allows you to edit your object. This means that I can group a couple things together. So say I wanted to group this together, then I can move the whole thing together if I want to, or I can ungroup it. This allows certain things to be brought forward. So say I wanted to create a text box, or I typed up this use your mouse. Let me show you what to do. So I typed this use your mouse text box up, and I want it to stand out. So I'm going to put a square around it. Well, notice that my square is above my my text, and so I can't see it. So if I click on this and I tell it to send it backwards, it will, if I click a couple times, it'll bring my text forward. If I want to send it back, I can send it back. So that's a pretty decent tool to use. All right. Where did I leave off here? So that's my select tool, and that's what that does. This is my pen tool. I have this really nice Wacom tablet, and it allows me to, when it's plugged in, excuse me for a moment, let me pause. All right, I'm back. I have this really great Wacom tablet here, and it allows me to write whatever I want or do whatever I want, or pretty much control this program using my tablet screen and a pen. So I can draw or do whatever and control my toolbars. And I had to do this out of necessity when I had a really bad back injury that just hasn't quite healed yet. I can't be up at the board, writing on the board. I can't be standing for long periods of time. So this was just a survival skill. So your pen, you can use it with your mouse, but it won't make things really beautiful. If you can get a Wacom tablet or some other tablet to go with this program when you can afford it, I would suggest you do it. It's a really neat tool. All right, so let's continue scrolling. Here's your eraser tool. This will erase any writing that you have done. You'll notice it will not erase text. If you want to get rid of text, you have to select it, and then you can right click and delete, or you can come up here and delete if you want to get rid of things like that. This here is a shape tool. This tool will allow you to choose different shapes that you want to put into your flip chart. So it gives you different options for that. Right. Here is a media tool. This will allow you to go and grab files or pictures that you have that you want to embed in your video or in your flip chart. So it's a pretty quick way to grab something that you want to embed. This here is the clear annotation. So this is anything that you write with your pen you can use this to clear your annotations. If I were to click this and clear the objects, it's going to take everything off my page away. If I don't like that I did that, I can undo it. And if I had a grid, I could do that. I could clear the background. And if I don't like that, I can put it back. So that's a pretty nifty tool. This is the undo button. I did something, I didn't like it, I undo it. Or if I undid something and I wish that I hadn't, I can redo it. And then these are some math tools that I had set up. So those are special tools that I have there. Here's your text box. Very, very friendly tool, especially if you don't have a Wacom tablet. It allows you to type whatever you want, and then you can move it to wherever you want. You can turn it sideways using this turning tool. You can make it transparent, bring it forward, shove it back, do all sorts of things, make it bold, make it smaller. So that's a pretty cool tool. I'm going to leave that there if you don't mind. Let's continue. This is a line. These are lines. This allows you to create lines. So say I want to create a line and connect those two things. Say I want to make a flow chart or something. Those are pretty nice little lines that you can use. This button's the fill button, and I really like this button because sometimes when I'm in geometry and I want to draw a circle and I really don't like the color of my circle, I can just grab my paint bucket and I can fill it up. So that's pretty nifty. Then you have your highlighter tool. You can grab any color you want and highlight the important words that you want to stand out and you want students to put in their notes. And then here's the awesome tool, the toolbar. Now this guy right here can allow you to do everything, but this is where we find our screen recording tool. All right, and so you definitely want to be friendly with this tool. Okay, so let's go back to our page. And so that's just a quick lesson on the basics of this program. Down this tool, there's your save button. I have a clock here and some other things. And those are also things that I have set. So those are some added tools that I have set for this. All right, moving on. So I've created my lesson. It's beautiful and I'm ready to record. Now what do I do? You need a headset with a microphone. I got mine for 15 bucks at Walmart. It's not perfect, but it's good for the purpose that I'm using it, and you need a laptop. And I gotta tell you, before recording, make sure you plug it in. One time I did my recording and I was so happy and realized by the end that I hadn't plugged my headphones in. Oh, ridiculous. Could barely hear myself through the computer's microphone. All right, so you get that set up, and here's what you do. You either go to your tools button like I mentioned before, or you can go to your tools button. You can see your hammer and your wrench there, tools. Okay, and you click on either one of those. And then you're going to go to your screen recorder. I'm in full screen recorder. Area screen recorder is pretty nice. It's a little bit more complicated to use. Not really super complicated, just a little bit more complicated. So that's what you would do there. If I wanted to do it from here, I would go to more tools and go to my screen recorder and grab what I needed to do. Okay, so you do that. And then this little guy, you'll see him down here in the corner, he's going to show up. You click the red button and it will prompt you to name your video. You will see this screen. Oh, wrong screen. Here we go. All right, so name your file. Choose where you want it to go in your documents and your videos, and it's fine. Please save it as an AVI. Your YouTube is going to convert it to all the different types of files that the kids' devices will read, and click Save. Once you click Save, it's going to start recording. It automatically begins. You'll see this little blue and red blinking. You see it down here for our recording. It's recording and you're speaking. All right, so let's say you get to a point where you've forgotten or you lost your place or you need to think for a moment. Hit pause. You just click the pause button. All right, and when you're ready to go back, don't hit the stop recording button. I'm missing a slide here. You need to go back and re-click your circle button to resume recording. Okay? Don't hit your stop button, because once you hit your stop button, it's going to create your video, and if you're not finished, you'll have to start over. I've made that mistake too, so hopefully sharing it with you will keep you from making that mistake. Once it's stopped recording, it'll take a couple of seconds to create your video, and you can watch it here by playing your recent recording. All right, so now your video is ready to go. What do we do now? Well, you already have a YouTube account. I don't know if you know that or not, but we have one in our Google email, or our Google account. We have a YouTube. So if you open your school-sponsored email account, what you're going to do is you're going to go to this little 3x3 square and click here. And you may have to scroll down to find your YouTube channel, and then you're going to click on your YouTube channel. And I suggest you stop for a moment if you haven't set up your YouTube channel, and go to your channel setup checklist, add some channel art, set some settings, make sure I have it so that the kids can't leave any comments. I don't want them leaving comments because I don't want to have to deal with inappropriate comments. So I basically just have that shut down. And if you're having trouble setting it up, just see your site tech person, and they'll help you get that set up. Once you have that ready to go, you're going to go to this upload button right here, and you're going to click. All right, right away it's going to bring you to this page here, and you're going to select this gray icon here, and it's going to prompt you to find the file that you want. So remember where you've saved it and what it's called. If you don't want to find it, if you remember what you called it, you can type it in, and just remember what folder you put it in, and click open. Once you do that, it's automatically going to begin uploading to your YouTube account, and it'll take a bit of time. So while it's uploading, you can give it a title, give some description if you want to do that, and wait for a bit. There's a little place down at the bottom where it'll let you choose a little thumbnail picture that will show up on your YouTube channel for the video. So it'll give you a couple options there. But once it's complete, it's done. It's up, it's loaded. You don't have to do anything. You can click here on this link, and it'll take you to your video if you want to double check it. But I always just wait to go back to my email, and I see that I have a YouTube video uploaded. All right. So now that we've got our video uploaded, here's what we're going to do. You need to set up your YouTube account page, practice with your Activinspire software, tons of how-to videos on Promethean Planet. I'll take you to Promethean Planet really quickly so that you can see it. All right, that's taking me to my video. That is not what I wanted it to do. I must have copied the wrong place. So let me annotate over my desktop, and I will pull up the Promethean Planet. Let me pause for a moment. All right, so here's Promethean Planet, and here's the website for it. You can just type in prometheanplanet.com, and go ahead and create, if you don't have a membership already, create one. They're free. And then what you do is you can type in anything you want to learn about the Promethean software. Say you want to learn to screencast, or you want to watch a shorter video on screencasting. You can search that, and it'll bring up, well, let's try screencasting or screen recording. Let's try that. And that'll bring up a number of different how-to PDF that you can print out, or a movie that you can watch. You can also, what's really great is you can look up different resources for your classroom. There are really great lessons that other teachers have uploaded in every subject area. So you're a math teacher and you teach a certain class, a certain year, and you just select the different, say you're in 11th and 12th grade, and then you want to click math, or here you can click math, or whatever you want to do. And you can be even more specific and type in the type of math that you want to look at. So maybe you want to type in cubic functions, for example. This is really great because for if you had a sub one day, you could go ahead and take a preview of some lesson that somebody else has created, and you could create that lesson and pre-record it. And so it's a really great site. But the best part is that you have all the support to learn to use the interactive software, okay? So there's that. Let's go back to our video. And then before you decide that you're going to jump into this, you need to think about all of the things that can happen if you flip your classroom. You've got to think about, well, what if the kids don't do their homework and take the notes, or what if the kids don't have access to the internet at home? How do I get around that and make sure that those students' needs are met? So do your research, talk to people that have flipped it, decide if it's going to work for you, and then come up with a plan. All right, so that's it. I'm going to shut this program down. I'm going to put it out there for some questions. Thank you so much for coming.